I mean,
I never understood how the whole like hyper jump thing worked too. I thought they just like in the lore of Star Wars. I thought they were just like going to hyper jump and then they just like push the button, zoom off or whatever. I didn't until I just rewatched this movie and they're like, we can't just go straight into it. We have to like plot the course or else we're just gonna run into a star or something like that.
If you think about it, how are you? If you just like, okay, let's go, and you do it, you're gonna shoot straight into something.
Oh,
like,
that was such
That's what I never understood. I never understood. I was like, dude, there's like asteroids everywhere.
No, it makes sense because he explained it to Luke why they don't just immediately just zip into hyperspace. He was like, I have to calculate the jump to light speed or else we'll fly into a moon or into a supernova and we'll die. He's like, I need to calculate it so we don't run into any on our path.
Can we just get a round of applause for Nick for repeating exactly what we all just said?
You guys were not just saying that. You guys were not. Don't even lie to me. I literally heard what you just said, and it was not that.
He didn't exactly repeat it.
I mean,
sure, man. You caught me at homework. Just don't.
You guys were saying. Welcome back to MediaMix, movies, shows, games, media, etc. We got it. You want it. We're doing Star Wars, and there's 4 of us.
Which Star Wars are we doing today, Nick?
It's the first one.
Oh,
not
wait,
the first one in the show, but the first
though?
one ever made. So
We're gonna
it's going to be
We're not past the first match.
A New Hope. Did you cuss?
No, I didn't. I was going to say something about other Star Wars movies that I don't enjoy.
sure.
Like what?
You know, like the dumb ones with the dumb people in it.
We'll get to that.
I'll
You know,
leave that up to people.
that's
to talk
eventually in
We'll talk
the
about it.
that'll be in the
Anyways,
playlist eventually.
To my
dare you
left
talk
is
about
Jack.
Yes.
I'm Nick. To my right is Nick. And then to my forward is Zach.
the kahuna.
about. Why is that angle? Wait, hold on.
Not to confuse us, but I'm Nick and that's Nick.
Yeah, they're both Nick S. So.
If you switch to the GoPro
Well,
shot, it's like
name drop.
switch to really good. Help!
You're
So yeah,
out of
boys,
shot.
we're finally starting off the Star Wars series.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I've
pretty
never
excited
seen Star
too.
Wars.
There's a lot of
Shut up.
content.
Yeah, Star Wars, the one series that everybody loves, no one ever hates ever.
Well,
That's not true.
You guys said we were gonna watch. I didn't end up watching New Hope. I just have seen it enough times to know what happens.
We've all
in
seen
it.
it a million
I'm
times.
sure
I've
everyone has.
watched it.
I've seen it enough times, I just forget every movie I ever watch.
It's a classic.
ADD.
You guys want to recap?
So basically,
You have 15 seconds.
okay.
The space Nazis.
Hold on. Let me pull up my timer and time it. Space Nazis.
Change the GoPro.
No, I'm not using the GoPro shot.
All right,
Oh, but
I'm
it's so
starting.
funny.
I'm starting.
Fine,
the-
I'll have the GoPro
You have
shot.
You have
Yeah.
Fucking
15
give me
seconds
this.
starting.
Bleep
Or I'll
that.
give you 30 seconds.
Oh.
All right,
Alright.
you have 30 seconds starting now.
All right, so basically the Death Star is created, and these rebels have gotten a hold of the Death Star plans. The whole premise of the movie is the Princess Leia gives the droids the Death Star plans, I think, and yeah,
You're right.
yep, and then the
15
droids have to go
seconds.
find Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Obi-Wan Kenobi gets in contact with Luke, and then yeah, they go and blow up the Death Star, and all is merry, and Darth Vader gets sent flying off into space,
And then
Skip
Leia,
a
in the
few
end.
parts of
spoilers
the
for
middle.
anybody
then-
who's never...
and then Leia kisses her brother. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Incest.
It wasn't within the 30 seconds. It didn't happen. Cut it from the movie. Get out of here. Stop
Put a
with
little
that.
bleep over the bleep sounds.
Rip Carrie Fisher, by the way.
Yeah.
Bro, who in this movie is not alive
You
anymore?
saw the hand. I didn't mean that.
Isn't the guy who, like, played Darth Vader, didn't he pass away recently?
The guy who was in the suit, yes.
The guy in the suit.
I
one
think
in the suit,
I
not
think
the
R2D2
voice.
passed away too.
There's a couple. of them.
Isn't R2D2 a computer?
No,
Like
it's a person.
computer generated?
No, it's a person.
No, there's
person.
a person side.
Yeah.
And the older ones, not the newer ones.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How does a human mouth make those robotic little beeping noises?
No,
That was put in post, but everything else was...
He's a literal child.
that'd be so funny. If
So someone was able to go like, whoop, whoop, whoop,
yeah, that'd be so funny if he's sitting there and he has
Oh,
his
that?
he has his lines he has to like say just to like you know, for them to go back in and edit like the actual like computer noises or whatever. It's like he's just sitting there like beep boop beep boop beep boop.
Yeah, so can you
just hear a faint
Beep
little,
boop,
like, beep
fucker.
boop, boop.
when he first got the part, it was like, so you're not going to be saying any words. You're just going to be making really stupid robotic sounds.
Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop.
Sign me up, baby.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Have you ever seen the behind the scenes where it's like, you know, obviously the voice of Darth Vader is added in after.
Yeah.
So the guy in the suit had to talk. Have you heard him talking through the suit,
No.
like in the actual scenes?
Really?
It's like, how do those people act when you hear this guy being like, I know you have the Death Star plans.
Oh no! It's,
Like,
yeah, but the thing is, but the thing is,
power of
it's
the dark
it's
side.
muffled, so it's like. I know that you have the Death Star plans.
So it's like, it's basically the guy from Spaceballs when he has the helmet on. It's like,
yeah, pretty much. It's like kind of like that. And it's just like, how do they act around like this man's supposed to have a really deep accent, and it's just like.
It's like, Luke,
That's
I am
so
your
funny.
I know.
father. And then
Seriously.
the
Like, I
actual
know
guy's
that-
like, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, I know the whole like haha Bane from Dark Knight Rises voice is funny, but like it's kind of the equivalent to that where it's just like and Christian Bale's like, what?
behavior lack of faith disturbing.
Oh my
Excuse
gosh.
me. He's like, it's like, wow, this is great.
Oh my-
the Pringles can from my mouth.
I mean, good job on them choosing what's his name? What was that?
That was
All
a
right,
GoPro.
bye GoPro.
Was there a bomb?
No.
One of the GoPros died.
GoPro
Oh.
died. Okay.
No,
No.
I was gonna say who's the voice of Darth Vader? He voiced Mufasa. What's his name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Jones.
James Earl Jones. Good on them choosing him. If I'm not mistaken, and I may be wrong about this, from a very early age, he didn't speak a lot. And the first
shame.
time he spoke, his voice register was so low that, like, for his age, I think he was like 16 or 17 when he first like spoke. It wasn't the first time he spoke, but like when he spoke a lot, like he had such a low register that people like mistake him for an adult.
Really?
Yeah.
He just had one of those deep voices.
I got a feeling I'm wrong about that, and it was just some stupid thing that I saw on like BuzzFeed or something.
Awesome.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
BuzzFeed's
so
a very
cool. I-
reliable source, totally.
It's so weird going back through and watching this movie, and like, you know, obviously we've all watched the entire series of Star Wars
With
already.
the stuff
and
you
all
know
the
now.
lore. Yeah, but it's so cool like going through and just watching, and then like every time I watch this movie over again, I always realize something different. You know,
Yeah.
like there's always like that little hidden thing, or you know, the hidden thing they say in the dialogue or something like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, this ties in with something that happens like way later in like Movies Up or something like that. And it's just like. It's fun to see, you know.
Yeah.
What
I
I
was
find
watching the one scene where Luke has the two droids in the house. I had no idea C-3PO gets like a freaking oil bath. He
Yeah.
just sinks into the
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I
oh
remember
boy,
that.
my parts are so dusty right now. I'm so glad I get an oil
did
bath.
not
It's like what?
ever recall that scene.
I never
ever.
remember that. Something that I was gonna say is after watching, I didn't rewatch the movie, but I remember it. But they have the scene where they're buying all the things and they're talking to the Jawas, or not Jawas, the Jawas, right? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
they're talking to the Jawas, and it's funny because I thought about it, and it's like the scene in The Mandalorian where he's trying to get his stuff back and he kills all of them. I'm so happy when he does that. I'm like, yeah,
Because I don't think they've ever killed a Jawa up until that point.
yeah, but it
Really?
was no, they I
don't
like
remember-
I'm sure
not
I have
from
in
any
Lego
movies.
Star Wars.
probably, but like the only time.
Murdered those little things.
But I love when one of them's running away and he uses his rifle and it's just like he just dies. So good.
Oh,
Can we talk about all the CGI stuff they added to the first three movies?
Oh yeah.
They
That,
ever
like
keep
it wasn't
redoing
in there originally.
Compared to the original, it's so weird because they have the part in the cantina with like the singing one, with the one who's singing, and it's like really weird because if you look back on the original, it's like a Muppet. It's like ugh.
Yeah, in that movie in New Hope, apparently like when they were filming that scene or whatever, originally there wasn't enough like, you know, I guess like creatures or whatever in there. So George Lucas had just a bunch of like the random like cast members put on just these random like monster and like creature like helmets and stuff, and just go sit in like the corner or something like that. And
So
look
like
weird.
Awesome.
some of those scenes where it's just random aliens, like
Mm-hmm.
a couple of those are just Harrison Ford in a costume.
Very well could be
That's
I'm-
funny.
just sitting
Probably
there.
not Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
He's like, you
But,
want
like,
me to do what?
Jabba the Hutt was not originally in the first movie. It wasn't originally in New Hope.
He is in New Hope.
He is.
Yeah,
in
he
New
is-
Hope.
he
He is in New Hope.
I know what you're
But
trying to say.
He was CGI, so he wasn't
Yeah.
in the original cut when
Before-
it first came out.
Before
Oh,
the
so they're just-
CGI, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Jabba was a human. Jabba was supposed to be a human.
Really?
And that's why. And then later, George Lucas decided that he wanted to be this giant space slug.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, he
It's
was a
kinda
human.
cool.
So, like, in the scene that we see in New Hope, when Harrison Ford is talking to Jabba, he's talking to a guy.
Yeah.
Like, just straight up a guy. And then
Yeah, I
Jabba's
assume.
added in later.
I'm kind of skeptical
That's cool.
about the line where he says, "Jabba the Hutt, you're an incredible human being."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm
That's-
wondering if that was scripted or if that was actually just Harrison Ford forgetting that he's
or
not.
maybe that was just Han Solo's
That was-
character being
That was
sarcastic.
shot before. That was shot when they thought Jabba was going to be a human.
A human.
So he's like, Jabba, you're an amazing human being. He actually was a human being when they
That's
shot
I
that.
just noticed
like,
that. I was like,
'cause
wait,
it-
why did they call him a human
You
being?
could either think of it like, well, he's a space slug, not a person. But
Yeah.
you could also say is like he's commenting on his character.
Yeah, no, they just left it in because it kind of fits. I mean,
Yeah.
it fits like Han Solo's kind of.
Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like just Han Solo.
Yeah, I liked
just Han
it. It
Solo
was
being
kinda
like,
cool.
you know, like whatever, you
Cool,
know.
like fact. I mean, like even in the scene, he like walks over him, like he steps on his like tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like edited because they just made him like edit upwards and downwards as his-
Really?
to make it look like he's just stepping on his tail. And then they made
Yeah.
Jabba like.
I gotta go rewatch that.
I really
see
want
that
to
again.
watch like the unedited, non CGI version, because like
You can
watching
look it up.
watching the version, I kind of do though. I kind of see what it was like when people first saw the movie, but because there are a lot of weird cuts in the movie, especially when like people activate their lightsabers, like the frame just kind of cuts to when the lightsaber's on from when it's off. Like
Yeah, because they didn't really have the computer technology and methods to make the lightsabers look
was
like
hard.
really real.
Yeah, they had to, if I'm not mistaken, they had to take a piece of film and they had to, because they have to, when they edit the film, it's like they have to go in and cut and they have to do all that crap. But when they cut it, they're cutting out a frame and they have to give them an actual lightsaber because they have to have a thing there, so then they have references to far as like where the end of it is.
so it was too much to just like have the lightsaber grow from bottom to top back then.
It was challenging. I mean,
Because they didn't
I
exactly
remember
have Adobe Premiere
Yeah,
to sit there
they-
and like
I-
just edit the whole
now
thing.
like in After Effects you have like it's called like laser or something. It's a
Yeah, I know how to
plugin.
do. You don't even need After Effects. You can just use Premiere.
Yeah, you
and
can
do
use
it.
Premiere,
Yeah,
but
it's
like if you use
simple.
After Effects, you can just use AI and it does most of it. But the thing is, it's so easy. It's literally just a laser you pull,
Yeah.
and then you have a tracking point that goes. But when, like maybe, I don't know, when I was in high school, 7
Back in
years.
my day.
I'm trying to
Back in
think.
my day.
I'm trying to think. 7 years ago, plus another like 3 or 4.
13.
So
So 10.
10 years. 10 years ago.
Quick
Years ago,
math.
you were 10
Sorry,
years old.
I had to do the math. 10 or 11 years ago, it was like, it took like a day to render.
Oh, just a whole-
just
just
like
a
not
lightsaber?
even like 20 seconds worth of footage, which is like a good amount. But like if you're doing a fight scene, they can get up to like 5 minutes. So especially on screen lightsaber time, it
Yeah.
gets really long. So like having to export, you're doing just for a solid week, you're just exporting. Back then you didn't have to. But
Yeah.
So
now you
that
do.
entire like fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader took like
That would have taken a lot
several
longer
weeks
because
to
they
make.
have to cut out and do all that crap with film.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. Like, you know, everybody trashes on the newest movies that have come out of like Star Wars, but obviously you do have
They
to.
look great.
They're
You do
very
have to
visually
appreciate.
pleasing.
You do have to
Appreciate that the
appreciate
visual-
how. Can I like finish speaking? Or,
Yes.
Like,
Sorry.
you gotta.
Disagreeing
You
with
gotta
you.
appreciate like you disagreeing with me.
I said I was just agreeing with you.
Oh. Never mind.
Irrelevant.
Keep going.
Now continue.
Well,
Gosh.
I will say honestly, there is some things, and I know we're talking about the first movie, but if we're on the topic of all Star Wars, then I'll bring this up. But visually, yes, there's a lot of Star Wars that look really good, but there's some, like, in the first one, obviously it's kind of wonky as far as, like, lightsaber fighting scenes because they didn't really have it down,
Yeah.
but they still had acrobatic parts where, like, he's jumping
definitely.
really high.
But like,
Yeah, I still think the prequels are like my favorite fight scene.
For lightsabers,
yeah.
it was really good. And then in the, like, third trilogy, it's, like, really just, like,
Wonky.
yeah, it's like
die!
it's
Yeah,
not
'cause
it's
they're
not
in the third, it was-
so.
it's not
They're, like,
majestic.
trying to whack each other to death.
There's no...
They're not
and the-
trained.
yeah,
I
and
mean, that's the point.
But even in the second and third, when they are trained, it's, like, there's no sort of, like, gymnastic sort of...
Yeah, in the
scene
second
to it.
trilogy with like almost every single lightsaber duel that I've seen is just it's so majestic, dude. It's like they're
I love the way
flying
they look in
around.
that
They're
one, too.
huh?
I love the way the lightsabers look in the.
They
See,
have a lot of...
I have to say I like the way the lightsabers look way better in like the newest one, especially Kylo Ren's with like the
Because he
literally looks
has-
like lightning coming out of his blade.
Yeah,
and
'cause
stuff
it's
like
like
that.
the
That's just cool.
It's just his crystal's broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just like and even Luke's lightsaber in the new trilogy that they have. It
He has
looks
the lighter blue, too.
100 times, but yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously-
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but the lightsabers, don't get me wrong, they still look very good in the second trilogy they made because that was back in 2007 is when they made that second trilogy.
I have my own.
But
lightsaber.
even still, like, watching Mandalorian, the scene where they have, like, Ahsoka Tano, I know Ahsoka Tano, the lady, she's known for voice acting and all that stuff, and she does do some motion capture, but, like, it was really awkward watching the fight scenes in that one because it was just really sluggish and choppy. And even, like, Luke's face in
Oh yeah, I didn't.
that one was really... A lot of people were like, it looks just like him. I'm like... You can. It's the feathering. The
it
feathering
looks-
on the edges is like so.
It looked better than when they did it in the third movie of the most recent trilogy. Remember in the
Yeah, with
flashback scene?
with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
Carrie Fisher
and
was.
You know
Luke-
why that looks so good?
no,
'cause it's
that
his
did
daughter.
not look good.
Because her daughter did it.
Yeah.
That did not look good in that scene, the flashback scene
Oh.
of Luke. That looked terrible.
Oh, that
Oh,
one
yeah,
looked
that was
terrible.
terrible.
That
Yeah,
one
that
and
we're not talking
terrible.
about the same one.
Oh.
he's
I'm
thinking of
the
Rogue
one
One.
where
Wait, are you?
I am thinking of Rogue One.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah, I
right.
thought
Rogue One-
I thought that looked exactly.
But
like
Rogue One was really. There was two characters in Rogue One that looked really CGI, and it was General Tarkin, who looked really CGI, and then
That
Carrie Fisher
had-
at the
that-
end.
him-
But the thing is, you had to recreate a whole
Yeah.
person.
All right, let's get back into A New Hope that we're doing.
But anyway,
Moving on.
that's what I mean.
I
But
find
like,
it, can this freaking
turn it off.
go to the Shadow Realm, you bitch?
Because it turned back
Um,
on, and so it just turned off again.
you know what I found kind of funny though, like
Lay
Did that
down.
turn you off? God.
and just like the
That's what
story,
she
the whole
said.
story writing of it. So you know how you know the scene when Luke goes off
That was a good
try and
one.
find the droids, meets Obi-Wan,
Mhm.
and then they're like he's like I gotta get back home because my uncle's gonna kill me or whatever. And then he goes back home and they're just like they're
Dead?
they're just dead.
Yeah.
and and he's like, well, oh hey old man, I'd like to come into the Outer Rim with you and do this crazy stuff, like just like pretty much he just kind of stands there. He's
Why?
like, dang. He's like no remorse. He's like, all right, I'll go.
This is like,
Screw my own uncle.
what made you change your mind? My parents are dead.
Well, yeah.
'Cause his
All right,
parent-
fair enough.
To be fair, his parents were the only ones kind of telling him, "Don't go out." And do that
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
he seemed like
Because their uncle and
I don't-
aunt knew.
even if that was my
Bro,
parents,
like,
I wouldn't
why
be
would he
like
be sad? He doesn't have any more chores to do.
I'd still be sad. I mean, obviously they showed him being a little sad, but
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I mean,
damn, and I'd probably like start crying because my parents that have raised me for my entire life have just kind of
Are
burnt
kind
to a
of
crisp.
just charred skeletons with their innards spread across the floor.
What? Who killed them? Was it the Empire?
It was.
It was-
like the
No,
Empire.
it was,
yeah,
it was
The
the
Empire. It wasn't the Sand
it
People.
wasn't.
No, it was
Oh,
the
no, I'm thinking-
stormtroopers.
I'm
They
thinking
burned
of
their
other
house
things.
down.
Why did they burn their house down though? Did they?
Because they remember, Luke and C-3PO went out to go get R2 because he was trying to find Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
They find Obi-Wan, and they find the little midget people's transport just completely ripped to shreds. And Obi-Wan's like,
Jawas.
"This wasn't the Sand People. This was stormtroopers." And then Luke was like, "If they tracked the droids to this thing, they probably tracked it to my home. Oh no!
Wait,
Yeah.
how did they?
Home,
Yeah, but the
it's on
droids
fire.
weren't. You're saying maybe earlier they did.
They probably tracked where the droids came
Have
from, how
been.
they got there,
Yeah.
and where they have been.
I'm pretty sure
I
there's a
guess. I don't
scene
know.
where they had stormtroopers talking to the Jawas, and the Jawas are like, "Yeah, we sold the droid too."
Yeah.
There
They
was
probably,
a scene.
They
or-
probably stripped the transport
I
trying to
feel
search
like
for
there
it.
was. I mean, I don't really remember.
Huh.
Yeah, because that.
But I'm
Yeah,
sure
like
if
you were right with the scene at the sand. They're like, "Look, sir, droids," and he holds like the little like washer thing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so they know they're droids. They're
See,
after droids.
I like. It makes me think because how many planets are there? There's 2 in this. You have Tatooine and you have.
Tatooine.
I mean, there's
There was that planet they blew up.
Alderaan.
Alderaan. Yeah,
They
but
blew up
Alderaan.
Duran.
But does that really count?
Naboo?
they
No,
never
not
went on
Naboo.
it.
Where's the one that they
There's-
plan? Where they go and plan? Where's that
Oh,
one?
they they have the rebel base on I don't remember what planet it's called.
I don't know why I'm thinking Kashyyyk. It's not Kashyyyk.
It's not Kashyyyk. That's Wookiee planet.
That's Wookiee planet. I don't know why I'm trying to think, but they have those 2. But
Yeah,
like, it makes
I
me
forgot what
think.
planet it was.
There's a lot of. There's not in this one, but what is your guys' favorite planet?
Planet.
Mine's
Planet?
Tatooine.
I can't even think about.
Okay,
I
wait,
can't.
wait.
I forgot all the names.
I get all the names confused. So
Yeah.
in the movie A New Hope, Leia bails Leia rats out Dantooine, right? Is that different from Tatooine? Or am I saying Tatooine?
Dantooine?
confusing- It's Dantooine. That's how it's spelled. This is
Tatooine.
Dantooine.
No, Tatooine.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking up what she says.
I mean, I'm sure there's a Dantooine. I don't know.
Literally, I'm not even gonna look it up. Like, audience, you can look it up yourself. What did she say? On
Your
the
mom.
on the Star Destroyer, she tells him Dantooine, right?
Probably says Tatooine.
I think it's Dantooine. I think it's
I don't know.
just
I
said
don't know.
weird.
Favorite planet? I have 2, I guess. I like Tatooine because it obviously you have like the famous dual sun.
But yeah, as for
Sunrise,
like
sunset.
favorite planet,
Um,
I honestly don't really care that much because they all kind of just look like different
I mean,
biomes on Earth.
Are we saying favorite planet in like A New Hope or just in general?
I mean,
Like
in
which one
general.
has the best like politics or
I forgot what that one planet.
geography?
I like the one
economy?
with the Wookiees. I think it's
It is
Kashyyyk.
Dantooine.
Sheik is the one.
Yeah.
It
And the
is.
giant tree,
Is that what
like
Tatooine
in
you were saying?
No,
the
Tatooine is
Jedi Fallen Order.
Tatooine.
Yeah, I
Tatooine
like
is
that
different?
planet. That's a really cool planet.
Kashyyyk is pretty cool.
It was
Um,
Coruscant where they have the rubber blaze.
But she didn't tell them Coruscant.
Coruscant?
No.
She told them something else.
In that one, it's Coruscant, and then later it's Hoth. I remember.
No, but she told him like a different planet to like, you know.
Oh
she
yeah, I
lied or
forgot
something
what they
like
told.
that.
So I have my
Like, all right, we're
okay,
still gonna
I
blow
like
up
I've
Alderaan
decided.
so far.
Alderaan is my favorite planet.
Blow it up.
Why? Because there's no racism there.
I do
Why?
like
Because
Alderaan.
it's blown to smithereens.
You're stupid.
All right.
All right, moving on.
I like Mustafar.
Mustafar. Which one's Mustafar?
The
Mustafar.
lava
Lava
planet.
Oh yeah.
But they're in other shows they go there as well. Like
That's where Vader's temple is.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's where the thing where the
it's a Sith planet, so like there's a bunch
Yeah.
of like Sith temples on it and
Mhm.
stuff. So
It's so weird. I don't know if you guys know about that, but he has that temple built by like somebody who works for the Empire, and like it's a lady, like the architect is like a lady, and she like gets a crush on Vader, and then Vader just like kills her.
I think I read about that.
Yeah,
Or
it's
watched
kinda
it.
weird.
How do you
Hell,
get a
you
crush
get a crush
on a
Vader.
walking microwave?
Well, he is like a 9-foot black guy. So
Well, technically you're not wrong, but I think underneath
how can you
is
not?
I always
not
thought
black.
Vader looked so goofy in like those movies, and I was like, I don't know why everyone's so scared of him. Like, yeah, sure, he chokes everyone, but he really does not look like that
I don't know.
scary.
You see Vader in the comics, and you see Vader in like the movies, and it's like the comics are way more terrifying.
Also, well, I think Rogue One did the best job of it.
he was in
That hallway scene.
That
Yeah.
hallway scene where he chucks the
Dude.
guy like on the ceiling, and then he stabs the guy through the door,
Yeah.
and then he like.
Are you sure you're not thinking about the video that one guy created?
No, that's two different ones.
Yeah.
That one is the one for the New Hope where he recreated the lightsaber fight. That was
Right.
really good.
Yeah, the one with Ben and Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
that
seen
was.
that.
But he
that
also-
was
he
good.
also
If you've seen
recreated-
that, go and watch it because it's actually.
He was hired by Disney.
What is it called?
He was hired by.
Was
Disney.
it like
episode
choreogra-
one
choreography or
scene.
animation?
It was a like a live action, like they deep fake some of it. It still looks a little wonky because the thing is that it's filmed in a different style.
I think it's.
But they
it still looked amazing. I think for like one person.
Yeah, Disney hired them. He was like,
That's
they were
awesome.
like, you guys are. I think it was 1 or 2 guys,
It's called
but they're like, we're gonna
Star
hire you.
Wars SC-38 Reimagined.
Yeah,
Go watch it. I'm probably gonna link it down
I'll
below
go
'cause
watch
it's
it too.
so good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's so good.
definitely great.
There's like a million different reaction videos to it as well.
So, out of the 3 original movies, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, which one is the best in your
That's
guys'
hard.
opinion?
We should probably answer this at the end of.
At the end
Well,
of
I'm
us
just wondering
doing
because
it.
like,
Well, why don't
what if there were no other 2 movies? What if it was just A New Hope? Because
What if the New Hope flopped or something?
like, what if the New Hope just
'Cause
flopped?
They spent
'Cause
$11 million on this, and it's
in
let's
today's
making
dollars or
money.
back then?
back then it was the budget. I don't know if they adjusted it, but it said the budget was 11 million USD and it box office 775
So it
million
definitely didn't
dollars.
flop.
Definitely did not flop. That's
No,
why
they were
made-
expecting it to. They didn't think that it was gonna do that well.
Really.
Yeah,
the
no, they
actors.
straight up. The actors were like, "This isn't gonna do well," and Harrison Ford was like, "I don't think it's gonna do that good."
Harrison Ford's just like. This
There
is
were,
stupid.
But he's
honestly,
ne-
if I'm being honest, there were a couple like scenes where I was like,
Yeah,
"That really? That just?"
But for, like,
that's
back in its-
acting?
We're back
For
in
back in
the
its
day.
day,
And
though-
back in its day, I do have to keep into account. This
It
was
was
made
in-
in like the 70s.
1977.
Yeah.
Back in its day, it's a pretty good movie.
Mhm.
Like when
There
let
was
me see
just
when the
it was
next
that one
came
scene
out.
where Luke's trying to like jimmy something out of R2 and he's like, "Are you guys in some action or?" And then nothing even pops out of R2. R2 just like goes like, whoop, and Luke is just like, "Oh!"
yeah. It's
And then the
it's
projection
really
comes out.
it's really
Like,
stiff
are
acting.
you kidding?
Yeah, but the next one came out 3 years later. Oh yeah, they each came out within 3 years of each other.
Yeah, so 1980 and then 1983
Yep.
is when the third one came out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have to remember, they had those 3, and then shortly after, Indiana Jones was released in 1985. No,
Really?
the second one. I think it was 1983 was the first, 1985 was the second, and then the third was released.
First one was 81, 84, and 89.
So yeah, wow, 89 for the
That
third
took a while
one.
for the third one.
Wow,
Dude, it must have been so cool growing
Well,
up.
think
just
about
having,
it.
like
The fifth
Star
one,
Wars and
fifth one's gonna come out in like 2023.
Harrison Ford's
24.
old. Yeah,
who are they even gonna use? They can't.
Harrison Ford's in it.
Really?
Harrison
Yeah.
Ford's in it, but I'm sure they're gonna have some other younger kid.
He's
Like Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be the new one. Then he just kind of sucked in the movie.
that was good.
Will
I-
you shut
Shush.
your?
Just unplug
Dude,
it.
just
Ow.
unplug it, bro. Stop freaking out.
Which one is it?
Oh, both.
Just unplug both. Doesn't matter.
Kill it.
Bring it over to me.
What are you doing? Give me it. Stop messing around with it.
I'm trying not to break anything,
Not that big
Jack.
of a. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it is.
So something
Stupid
Go to
camera.
Takashi Station.
Something-
Something. Pick up some power converters.
power converters.
Power converters.
Something that's
times with your friend later.
something that's like
choice.
interesting to look at though is like the actors that they've chosen for it because they typecasted it really well, or not typecasted, I shouldn't say, but like Harrison Ford is the sarcastic like cool guy.
Oh, I
and then
know.
you have
Yeah.
Carrie
That was
Fisher
a
as the
What a
princess.
perfect-
cast.
A perfect projection of Han Solo's by picking Harrison Ford.
But something, I guess a good way of looking at it is like you can see how the casting, they did really good casting for the first and second trilogy. You know why? Because it was George Lucas who was in charge of directing those. You want to know why the casting choices for the third trilogy were kind of a little bit like,
they had like 80 actors.
'Cause they had-
director.
yeah, because they had for one, they had a lot more choices. Granted,
Yes. That
Kylo Ren,
They had so many choices, yet made a shitty movie.
Adam
Honestly,
Driver, granted, like
Adam
he's
Driver's
not,
the only good.
he's
Oh,
good.
perfect.
But the
perfect.
thing is that
Honestly, I don't think the casting was even that terrible. I think it was just the scripts were so bad.
well, I saw a post the other day that was like the actor who plays as Finn, they're like, why? They're like, we're realizing now that he would have made a much better Jedi than.
Yeah, no shit.
Then
I
Rey.
mean, obviously,
Because
I
the
thought he was good.
Unfortunately, something that has happened now, which they did a good job in Mandalorian, is the fact of like, oh, she's a woman, so like she's instantly good, so let's shove it in your face, but do nothing to her personal character.
Yeah, her character arc's weird because it was kind of like.
I don't think it was because she was a woman or
she's-
anything. I think it's just like
No, that's
I
true.
think they just kind of like bypassed. I don't know, for the sake of like story or I don't know.
They didn't try hard enough with her as a character.
I thought it was okay,
Well,
but they could have done way better.
I think I know what he's trying to say. Maybe through Disney's eyes, if they just put a strong woman as the forefront, then people will be like, "This is a good movie," right? And
I don't know.
you can't really do that. I mean, like, maybe some people are like, "Okay, yeah, strong woman equals great," but even if you have a strong guy, if he has no
I don't care who it
build-up,
is.
he's just boring.
I don't care who the
You
main
know?
person
Yeah.
is. Just make a good movie.
It's shoving it.
What really ruined the third trilogy for me was the relationship between Rey and Kylo. It's just they had
We can
some
talk about this.
they could have done
later.
something
Yeah,
we may want to
really
wait.
Yeah,
really
let's-
interesting with those guys, but they just
I agree,
completely
but let's
flopped it.
let's talk
And
about
we can
that.
talk about
I
that
think
when
I
we get
wanna
to the
just-
third trilogy.
Right now, I just kind of want to leave it at like.
But anyway, we got
They
to this
wasted the
conversation
middle movie.
from talking about the world building that spiraled from the first movie that came out.
Now, something that I couldn't, that I had to think of. Hold on, let me think of it in my head. I don't remember. Was Boba Fett in New Hope or no?
No.
No.
Okay. It's something I wanted to bring up because we talked about voices earlier. Have you heard the original voice of Boba Fett?
Bro, this isn't even this
Before
movie
they,
though.
Before they redid.
Talk about it later.
God,
At
I
every-
want to.
Anyway,
Fine,
so,
I'll bring it
like-
up later.
I met the guy who played Boba Fett,
They
I
actually,
just find it
That's
really
cool.
cool,
and I have
like
a signature.
how it went from like a movie that was basically shot in the desert for the most part, spiraled into like this vast universe where it was like now it's not just like the present time where it's the Empire, it's also like the Old Republic, and then the new trilogy. I honestly really want like a trilogy just based on the Old Republic, not the prequels, just further back into the Old Republic, you know?
well, they did the
Guess
game
what? You
on it.
got your wish because that's the new trilogy they're working on.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah, the Old
Yeah.
Republic.
I think they
That's-
need to.
That's the new trilogy they're working on right now. They're working on a new 3 movies.
Oh,
It's the
cool.
If they're gonna
Old
make
I didn't know
anything, I feel like if they're gonna add anything that's new that we need to see more neutral Jedi or neutral non-Jedi
I
or
think
Sith.
I think they even
They
need
could
to
probably have
stop
that.
doing Jedi. I mean, like what they did with the Mandalorian.
They should do
Right.
so
Well, they didn't have any they had one and kind of 2 Jedi, but for the most part they really only had one because
Now it's
Ahsoka
the second
Tano
season.
isn't.
So, have you guys played
Ahsoka
the Old
Tano's a great
Republic,
Jedi.
like the MMO?
Can we talk about like this movie
Sorry.
instead of everything else but this movie?
Well,
There's not much to talk
There's
about.
not much to
It's
talk about
like
this specific
90
movie.
There's a lot to talk
99%
about.
of people have seen this movie already.
99% of people have seen every movie we're gonna talk about. So why are we just covering the broad range of?
It was good. I liked
it. Was,
it.
it was good.
Done.
If you haven't seen,
I had
oh,
something
man.
I was gonna say,
Give us views and
What are you gonna
subscribe,
say, Jack?
please.
but I completely forgot because you guys are just ranting on about all this nonsense. Not really nonsense, but
It's not nonsense.
Think, Jack.
It's
Think. Think, Mark.
stop! Now my mind's thinking about that.
You're gonna trigger me.
Dang it!
What will you have?
So they have the fight scene between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. I don't remember specifically, but somebody pointed it out. But they were like, "Oh, I'm looking for Obi-Wan," and then he's like, "Well, I'm Ben Kenobi," and it's like, you changed your first name. That's all you changed.
Yeah, they changed it to Old Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, it's like you changed. You're smarter than that. Like in the Clone Wars, he like gets his whole face changed, but like now you're just like Ben.
So
From
why
Obi-Wan
did-
to Old Ben. It starts with an O and ends with an N, both of them.
Why did the uncle, like Luke's uncle, like why did he hate Obi-Wan so much and like just not like want nothing to do with,
Because
like,
he knows.
You know,
Bad news.
He knows because they dropped. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Obi-Wan who.
I mean,
No. Obi-Wan brings Luke to the uncle and aunt.
Yeah.
He's the one who brings it to
Yeah.
him. It's not explained if they have any other development between that, which is I'm assuming is going to be
Yes.
covered
Uh,
in the Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan lives on Tatooine with
What?
them.
you're like screaming.
Oh, I don't know.
And it also logically makes sense why he wants to keep Obi-Wan away from Luke, because it's like, do you want Luke at a young age to get mixed up with a guy who's like the last of his kind being hunted down by the Empire?
He's not the last of his kind because apparently there's more.
Well, I guess there's also Ahsoka Tano, but as of the time of that movie being released, Obi-Wan was technically the last of his kind. He was the last Jedi.
No, he's not.
Until he trained Luke, and then Luke became a Jedi.
The universe is vast.
I guess, but there's the whole thing is like there will always be more Force-born children. Like it doesn't. You don't have to come from anyone. You just will have a magic baby.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And
unless you do.
We know,
from
like they do
a magic boy.
They do like say it multiple times, like.
But
like
the
when
Empire does hunt them down.
Yeah, the Empire hunts them down.
Like not to get off track again, but like.
Go ahead.
Obviously, like in when the Jedi in the Jedi Temple, they have a holocrons that have the list of all the Force-sensitive children in the universe, and obviously the Empire gets their hands on them and will go and hunt the children down or train them into
Sith.
Speaking of the Empire, though, like, so in this movie, they're kind of just like, I don't know, like in every other movie, it seems like they're just like those, like, you know, they're the tyrants who go through and like they, you know, burn cities with, you know, if somebody like looks at them the wrong way, kind of thing.
Right.
But in this, they're just kind of like dicks, just like floating around or whatever, just like like occasionally blowing someone up. But like,
look how strong we are.
Mostly in this movie,
mostly
in this movie, they're just portrayed as like just. I don't know, like just the big
just
overlooming
on the galaxy.
Yeah, just the big overlooming government and control that doesn't really just do anything. They just kind of just like chill around and just make sure check people.
It's like they have to show that they're evil somehow.
Yeah.
And it's like overall they are pretty evil, but what I kind of like is how when they expand out more, they kind of go through like how you could see the other side of it, because like in a lot of different shows, a lot of people think the Empire are the good guys. Because their whole spiel is like we're here to become like we're putting rules in so there's order, and it's like with order there's peace, and then you know, and then they get too
peace with a gun held to
they
your
get too like Nazi ish, and then you know then people obviously want to start to rebel. But
I mean, I'm pretty sure they wanted to rebel from the very beginning when they.
There are people that want to rebel from the very beginning, but some people don't know what they did to rise up.
Also,
you know, like not everybody knows that.
And it's shown that they were completely like Palpatine and all them were like diplomatic up until this movie. Really, it's like everything before this movie, like it's just been a long time. Like from this movie to what's it called? Revenge of the Sith. Like, you know, from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope, which is like, I don't know, a span of 20 something years. They've been like they've had a democracy. It's been still a democracy with like representatives from each place and ambassadors and stuff like that. And
then in this movie, Palpatine takes over.
Yeah, Palpatine's like, okay, that's enough. I'm just gonna
no more democracy.
Yeah, I'm pretty
this
much
is going too slow.
Yeah.
Also, I don't. Oh man, I just blanked on what I was gonna say.
It was the only way that he could kind of take over without seeming evil, because obviously, if you seem evil to everyone, then obviously everybody will rebel against you, and the whole point is that
he wants to keep power.
Yeah, like
it'd still be evil.
Yeah, exactly. The fuck.
Yeah.
Also, I don't mean to bring up game theory boy, but he does. There are some like theories that I used to watch of his that like kind of made sense, but he did the one where it's like destroying the Death Star is actually one of the worst things you can do, because they show that like the Empire over the universe is like an overreaching, like in that universe and I guess other ones as well, or no, just that within that universe they're an overarching empire that controls all these different planets, and you have this massive, it's like, I think it's like the size of a sun or like a small moon or something.
Death Star?
Yeah, the Death Star is like the size of a small moon.
Yeah.
So he like calculated how much that would cost, and if he's like taking resources from all these different ones, it's like you're pretty much blowing up this massive just money. It's essentially
like John Wick blowing up Vigo's like bank safe.
That, or like the equivalent of me blowing up, not me, but a person blowing up every single bank within like a 5-hour reach from here. Like it's that amount, maybe not that amount of money.
So it's like
probably
a lot
more,
of resources went down the drain for the Empire.
Yeah, they pretty much were like, oh, we made this big. Granted, it's a space laser and it's a space weapon because you know.
It's a weapon now, so you kind of have to get rid of it. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how that's like bad for the universe.
Plus that
That's
whole
not bad
like
for the
thing you just
universe, but-
explained. Credit goes to.
Credit goes to Matt Pat for that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take his credit.
Yeah,
for,
you gotta give him credit.
Unless I start making 17 or 18 Five Nights at Freddy's theories explaining and redoing.
Hey, come on, I like Matt Pat. Don't
Yes,
trash him,
okay.
man. Come on.
Yes, I know, but like
He's gonna cry.
when you've
We have like 27 subscribers. We don't
Matt
want
Pat
haters
don't
already.
want
yeah,
this
but
is
when
your
you've taken it's the equivalent of me taking an essay and then like erasing the last two paragraphs and then rewriting them and then like a couple weeks later erasing them and rewriting them.
We get it. You don't have to watch his videos if you don't want to.
Yeah, but I'm a millennial, so I can watch them, complain about them, and then make other people complain about them instead of getting something
I'm not
done.
complaining
I'll
about
just
them. I'm
not watch
complaining
it.
about you complaining about them.
All right. So, I got what's like your favorite character from this movie specifically?
Oh, Han Solo. 100%.
Yeah, I got a soft spot for Han Solo.
I do too.
I mean,
Church
until I
of Han Solo, rise up.
I mean, yes, I understand him and Carrie Fisher had an affair, and I do not agree with that. But besides that part,
Had an affair over who?
he did. He was with his wife,
He was with his wife, and
he had an affair with Carrie Fisher on the
We're
set.
talking about in the movie, dude.
That still doesn't matter. It still has to do with New Hope.
This was,
I can
was
still
it
bring
at
it
the
up.
time
I mean,
of
yeah.
seeing
I'm
New
just
Hope?
saying, like,
I don't know if it was
favorite,
around the time.
like, besides everything that happened, like,
Yeah,
external
besides-
movie,
yeah, that's-
favorite character in the movie.
I don't know,
Man, I really like that Han Solo guy, but he's kind of a dick in real life, so
I never. Well,
screw him.
I like Han Solo and Luke. I feel bad for Princess Leia because like yeah, she's a cool character, but like
Who did not like Princess Leia?
I don't know why.
She was
I'm not
hot.
gonna say that. That'll just be me. Never mind.
Say it.
Okay.
I was gonna say I don't know how you find Carrie Fisher attractive.
What do you mean?
She's
I don't know how you
not.
live life.
What?
She's not. You find Taylor Swift attractive, and she's a
Dude,
cutting
Carrie
board.
Fisher is hot in the first movie. I'll admit the first movie, but the
Alright,
second
alright,
movie, I
alright.
think
I
she
gotta
was
step
kinda
in.
falls
She's
I gotta
making
step
enemies here.
She doesn't.
All right, Zach.
on. Zach.
I don't know.
The
But
big-
anyway,
the big Konas time. All right.
All right, you have our attention.
How do you not find Carrie Fisher attractive?
You need to
I
explain.
just don't.
Just explain what
Like,
about her is not attractive.
Is it? Do you not like the hair buns that her like classic
Not
Leia
her
look?
buns.
Is her jawline weird?
I just don't. I just don't find her attractive. I don't know.
Face is
I'm not
fat.
gonna say why Carrie Fisher is unattractive to me. I just
Okay,
do
but
not
what
find-
about Slave Leia, right?
You brought it there.
Literally.
Yeah, of course, removing 90% of her
Hot.
clothes is gonna make her more attractive to some people, but I just don't find her.
Remove 90% of my clothes, and it's a different story. Okay.
Yes, but
Like,
what I'm saying
Big
is,
Kahuna's hot
I
either
don't,
way.
I don't
Damn right.
find her. If I'm gonna be honest, I know, like, I can't think of the character. I honestly find. I know this is gonna sound weird. I find Ahsoka Tano more attractive than Carrie Fisher.
Which
From
is
the Clone Wars
cartoon
or the
or
Mandalorian?
The kid one?
Mandalorian.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
There are some people that are like, I'm Tap, and it's
Man,
like,
there are
she's
some
like
people.
11.
There really do be some people who are like, bro, Asajj Ventress from the Clone Wars cartoon.
Oh no!
Oh damn!
That's too far.
No, I don't find.
Darth Maul.
I don't find Princess
Oh,
Leia, but
Darth Maul.
I do find what's her name from the Clone Wars? Why am I blanking on her name?
Padme.
Yeah, I find Padme
Who
attractive.
doesn't, dude?
Bro,
What's her name in real life?
All right, keep it in.
Are you
Keep
kind
Padme
of
is
talking about the
overrated.
animation?
Huh?
Talking about the animation?
No,
Okay,
I'm
good.
talking. Why am I talking about the animation? Why'd
Because
you
you
assume
said-
that twice?
You said Padme from the Clone Wars.
Padme
and
is overrated.
Padme in the Clone Wars is an
Not
animation.
that. Not the god, the animation style for that before they
Okay,
revamped
good.
it.
So
was
in the
disgusting.
prequels, Padme in the prequels.
Yes,
Thank you.
but
So
no. I was
actually
gonna
when
say,
she gets like the okay.
but anyway, I was gonna say really quick.
yeah, Padme on her death.
I like. I like yeah, Han Solo. I want to say
Hi, gay, not
I want
gonna lie.
I want to say Luke, but the thing is that every time I think of Han Solo, I think of like his other movies that
Your
he's in that
dad?
I like. Yes.
I don't know why, but
every time
I
that
compare Han Solo to
every
your dad.
time-
It's like
I don't see it.
Every time
How
we
do you
watch,
not see it?
I
every
don't
time
see
he
it.
has the same stature, every time I look at Harrison Ford and just the way
It's
he
his dad.
talks and he moves, I'm like, he just reminds
it's
me
awesome.
of my dad.
I'm like
I
every time I
don't-
speak
I
with
don't
your
know.
dad, it's
I
like
don't see
I'm
it.
talking to Han Solo right
Your
now.
dad
It's
reminds
it's
me of like
awesome.
Steve-O. with the
Steve-O.
beard. Yeah.
Come on.
Like Steve-O and the other main guy from Jackass, like those
Johnny
two.
Knoxville
And Johnny
and Steve-O
Knoxville.
put
Steve-O
together.
and Johnny Knoxville is what it reminds
You
me
know
of.
what? I'll let that one slide. I'll let that one slide.
And your mom reminds me of the mom from Coraline,
Oh no.
or the one
All
from.
right, anyways,
that
let's go
one-
back to this movie.
But anyway, yeah, no. Every time I think of Harrison Ford, I think of my dad.
yeah.
Okay,
All right,
my
Nick.
favorite character is C-3PO. Just because, like, he's always in dire straits. It's so funny. He's the best comedic relief in all of Star Wars.
He's the most like annoying character.
I
No,
hate
he's
never
not.
seen
You
it.
just
I
don't
hate it.
understand his purpose.
I watched Jack's
He
face the
is
whole
like-
time while Nick's like C-3PO.
Listen,
Jack
listen.
had the most bruh face.
R2D2,
I've ever seen.
R2D2 and C-3PO both have their roles, right?
Yeah.
R2D2 is 90% of the usefulness. Well, meanwhile, 3PO is like 10% usefulness.
See,
And then
3PO is just like the
3PO
translator.
is just 100% comedic relief. Like
I
he
don't know.
he just always makes me laugh no matter how many
find
times I
them
watch it.
so annoying, and then they
I don't
like
understand how
like
people find
I
them
remember
annoying.
watching. I remember like they're not super. I'm
R2D2,
like,
I don't find
whatever.
that annoying. C3PO, I find
C-3PO is
so
annoying.
freaking annoying
I
every
think you're
time.
supposed to, because all the
I-
characters always like crap on them.
That
yeah.
too,
Shut
but
up,
also
3PO.
they get
I love that.
they do that,
like-
and
it's
it's
funny.
it's
Everyone
cool
always
how
interrupts
like
him.
in the prequels they have them in there, but like in the third trilogy, I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with the stupid droids. It's like, oh hello there, and I'm like, no.
Why is he here?
It's like he's missing an
Literally-
arm. I'm like, he should be missing his head.
I would
Honestly, I don't think the droids should have been in the
No,
going off
they-
track
they-
from A New Hope. I would have
because
liked the
they'd
right.
be like gone
I'm sorry.
by then.
I would have liked the Rise of Skywalker a lot better if they didn't just completely ruin that scene where 3PO loses his memory with Babu Frick.
We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later.
I'm not gonna
Stop.
bring up that. But actually, something I was gonna say. So you have those two droids. Like, I hate how in the main movies the droids that they use are the most annoying things, but in like the offshoots, dude, the droid in Rogue One is awesome. It's
Yeah.
the funniest part about
Yeah.
Rogue One. And then in
That's true.
Solo, the droid that they have where she does the prison break, it's the funniest scene. And they do such a good job about it. And then they're like, we're going to take a really annoying golden boy and then put him in, and then you're just going to find him to be the most annoying. And he's not comedic
Like,
relief, he's
so
just annoying.
Droids
Would you
in the
compare-
Star Wars universe are like awesome,
Yeah.
but C-3PO and R2 are kind of like the two most annoying.
Annoying ones that they
I
I
don't,
don't
even like
agree
saying
with that
R2,
statement.
because I
I don't
like
agree
the
with that.
astromech droids, but
And like BB-8's
They're-
okay. BB-8's,
You think
it's not annoying at all. I think BB-8's
he's
think,
not, but
uh,
he's just kind of like a whatever.
you think Darth Vader would recognize R2D2 if he saw him on that ship?
I
at
thought
the
he
very
did.
beginning?
I think
didn't
he-
see
Not
R2D2.
in New Hope, but like later down the line, does he like say something about R2D2?
I don't think he says anything. But
He didn't create R2D2, did he? He created C3PO.
He created 3PO.
But what about R2D2? Where did he come from?
He was,
He
just
was
another
the
R2.
droid.
He just kind of appeared.
He was on Padme's ship, and
Yeah.
they were like, we have like 10 of these droids, and they're getting attacked.
Oh yeah,
And then it like goes out, and you see like all the other like,
Gets shot
all
off.
the other droids are like, boom, 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 and Order's like, Wah!
Yeah, like honestly, R2D2 and like the original trilogy is kind of tame, and then in the prequels, he's just such a badass.
Yeah,
No,
dude. Have you
it
seen
really
him in
is.
the Clone Wars, like flying around and shit?
And in the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
he's pretty awesome
Dude.
too. Yeah, but
They gave him a jetpack. Or jetpack.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Like, you know, like Vader's connections to like obviously like he wouldn't be like I remember you're with the good side, just like cut off R2D2's like head or C3PO's head or something.
You didn't make my milkshake. How dare you?
Like I wonder what he would do if he like, you know, encountered like if they captured C3PO on that ship.
He would probably smush him under his index finger.
I don't
now
think
the thing
so.
is, between I think they had their memory erased before. Like I'm pretty sure they don't remember.
I think
original
that's right.
trilogy.
They
Because
might
they
have.
don't, you know, like C-3PO and R2D2, they were there the whole time when the Jedi were in charge.
Yeah.
But yet, in the original trilogy, they don't remember anything.
I don't-
So I'm pretty sure.
I
their
don't
memory got
remember. I
wiped
think
at some point.
Now that you say it, I
Between
think that something like that happens. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
It not on screen, but I'm pretty sure something like that happened.
That's pretty stupid.
In between. Well, it's the only way to create.
Yeah, because otherwise,
I know,
I don't know. I
that's
feel like
why I
otherwise
find
it'd
it
be just
stupid.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
What I
don't
do
know.
like is how mysterious they are, the Jedi are in these, and they still kind of kept that in the prequels, but like in the third trilogy, they just kind of throw it away, like the mysteriousness of like Jedi.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I guess you kind of have Luke, but then he like takes off his hood and he's like, "I'm an asshole," and everyone's
So-
like, "Ah."
Back when the first movie A New Hope came out and Obi-Wan was talking about Jedi Knights, do you think people like envision just actual knights just wielding like
I
Oh, like
guarantee-
when
yeah.
people who
like
signed
in
the
actual knight armor?
Probably.
Oh man, could
Kinda
you
funny.
imagine if that's the route they took and just all Jedi Knights just wore like sick badass like metal armor?
I wish that I waited to see like the whole Star Wars trilogy, or just the whole Star Wars in general. Like
And watch it all through.
no, like I wish like I saw it when I actually understood what was going on. Cause I'm pretty sure my dad showed it to me when I was like, I don't know, young,
kid.
like
Yeah, we
too
all watched
young.
it when we were young.
Too young to like really understand that like major turning point of the
Yeah.
Luke, I'm your father, and then finding out that like Anakin is Darth Vader and all that
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I just, I was too young to really figure that out, and I never really had that moment. I was like, oh
Yeah, because
shit.
as a
That's
kid, like
why-
when you're watching Lion King, you're like, "Oh no, fishy kitty cat fall
Fishy.
into a
of
stampede," and then you watch it as an adult, you're like, "Oh no!"
God. But yeah, it's like I had the same feeling, or I did
like-
the same thing.
Yeah, like
right?
my dad got that whole like
Right.
because he was like, yeah, I remember when it came out in like 1977 or whatever, and I went and actually no, he was like,
Yeah, it's like, have you ever watched on YouTube like the audience reactions to like?
I've
Luke
seen a
Skywalker?
couple.
Well, your
yeah.
dad would have been too young. My
You'd have
dad
been, like,
would have seen it.
8.
My mom saw it.
Your
in
dad
theater.
would have. My dad would have been 8. My dad was born in '69.
So was my dad.
No.
So,
your dad's younger than mine. My dad is
Anyways.
60 and your dad
Anyway.
Who
is
cares?
50.
A New Hope came out in what,
Your dad was born
77?
in 1969.
I don't know.
I don't
He's
think I
not.
did that math right.
He's not 60.
I mean, I think it was 64.
It's probably what it
Hold on,
was.
I'm a bad son.
Why?
Why are you guys staring at me? Just keep on doing it.
So
I'm
anyway,
literally
Who
doing
said I
fine.
was
'Cause
looking
you're out
at
of
you?
the
Don't give
fucking
yourself
camera.
that much
No,
credit.
I'm not. I'm in the camera.
Barely.
It literally says I'm in the camera.
Where's it say that at, Nick?
In the program, look, I'm completely in the camera.
You are now.
I was literally like that far. My shoulder is
Yeah.
not in the
Yeah.
camera.
Never mind.
And
Oh,
that's
no.
gonna annoy me and other people watching.
No, it's not.
It is.
All right,
How's it
all
gonna-
right.
But guess
Who
what?
cares?
No one cares.
Yeah,
No
nobody
one
cares.
cares, so I'm gonna be
Well,
over
that's
here.
why I wrote down on my board, so we didn't talk about it. But
My dad
you
was
said something.
15 when it came out.
My
Okay.
mom was 8.
Wow.
She was because they lived in California, which I didn't know, and they were like, "Yeah, we saw it at the old Chinese theater." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, that's cool.
Like in
I know
Chinatown? It was
about
like,
that.
"No, we were
Really?
in New
It's a
York
cool
at the
flex.
time." I was
Yeah,
like,
is it?
"Oh,
You know
where
when
were you? California?" I'm like, you lived in California? When?
when this movie first came out back in 1977, it only opened in 32 theaters. It's saying, like originally,
Mhm.
like it really
32
wasn't that
theaters?
big. Yeah, just around the world, it really wasn't that big of a thing. And then it said over like the holiday weekends and stuff, it like opened up to like 43, but that's it.
Something impressive to think about is the fact that like when did we go to space? 1960?
3?
No,
9.
1970.
I thought it was 69.
It was in the 60s.
No, that's true. No,
It
we
was
went
in
to space
60s.
in 1969. Stanley Kubrick came out with 2001 Space Odyssey in 1969, so a couple months earlier, so we had to guess what space was like. Flash forward 8 years later, and then they have this. It's still kind of impressive what they do with the knowledge that they have of space. Granted, it's science fiction, so they can kind of do whatever they
Yeah,
want,
but it's still
impressive to
it's
look
still
at.
cool.
It's still pretty like
Ahead of its
I
time
mean,
for in the
like,
70s.
yeah.
Bro, you know what's
Considering-
super fascinating? Smoke in space.
It doesn't
Star Wars.
smoke in space. Oh, that's true. There's no such thing as smoke in space. Yeah,
Wait,
the
is there
physics.
not?
I think so.
No,
Oh, yeah, I
and
guess
also
it's
another
not air.
thing. Yeah, they like. It's kind of funny looking at like certain effects that like don't make sense in space, like dust, like in a vacuum, like that doesn't work, and all this
Yeah.
other stuff.
And it's
But
like
I mean,
There's a lot of
I never
different
understood how the whole like hyper jump thing worked too. I thought they just like in the lore of Star Wars. I thought they were just like going to hyper jump and then they just like push the button, zoom off or whatever. I didn't until I just rewatched this movie and they're like, we can't just go straight into it. We have to like plot the course or else we're just gonna run into a star or something like that.
If you think about it, how are you if you just like, okay, let's go. You do it. You're gonna shoot straight into something.
Oh,
like,
that was such
that's
a.
why.
That's what I never understood. I never understood. I was like, dude, there's like
Wait.
asteroids everywhere.
No, it makes sense because he explained it to Luke why they don't just immediately just zip into hyperspace. He was like, I have to calculate the jump to light speed, or else we'll fly into a moon or into a supernova and we'll fucking die. He's just like, I need to calculate it so we don't run into any shit on our path.
Can we just get a round of applause for Nick for repeating exactly what we all just said?
You guys were not just saying that. You guys were not. Don't even lie to me. I literally heard what you just said, and it was not that.
You didn't exactly repeat it.
I mean,
sure, man, you caught me my homework. Just don't.
You guys were saying how it's stupid. You guys were saying that scene was stupid because they would run into shit. I was saying it's not stupid because they were saying we're calculating for this shit so you don't run into it.
You're just filling the word count, Nick. It's okay.
But also, oh my God. there's two things that
okay, we gotta get to an hour. Somehow.
There's two things.
You guys are just making fun of me just for the sake of making fun of me.
No, that's not true.
There's two things.
Stupid.
There's two things that you don't think of until you rewatch this movie as an adult. One, how is a torpedo sucked into an exhaust port? Because that would be shooting. If anything, there'd be pressure going out than pressure going in.
The torpedo is being shot forward with enough.
That and if it's a big enough piece of like if it's a big enough object, then it has its own like gravitational field. Like you know how like maybe they were getting pulled in by a tractor beam when they got
it doesn't
close, but still like it has its own like I don't know like.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
As a torpedo.
Why would it go outwards
keep it
though?
to science
It's
fiction.
you have it. It's a. Anyway, it's an exhaust port, and like if anything, it should be an intake, because it would be intaking.
It has like a I don't know. It's like a rocket though. It doesn't just like fall. It's like shoots. Like it's
right.
It has
he shoots
boost.
it, and then it goes. It takes a 90-degree turn.
Yeah, because of the
down.
force. You use the force to do that.
And which means that it not only went really far forward and went at a 90-degree turn, which is already hard to believe, but it went to the center of the Death Star. That thing had enough power to get from, which I'm assuming is probably like a mile or a half a mile at the very least.
Because think about the artificial gravity that's in the Death Star. So it would just fall to the.
I mean, I guess if it was
to the center.
I guess if it was pulled, but the thing is if you're saying that if the gravity pulled it in, then the torpedo would have went and then just like shot straight down.
But the gravity didn't pull it in.
Okay, think about this though. Think about this. When they found the original like exploit in the in like the Star Destroyers or the Death Star's like plans or whatever, like whose idea was it? Like, oh yeah, we found this like it's like a hole. If you shoot something down it and you like we made like a flaw in it, so if you shoot something down it, it'll like blow up the whole thing. But we made like the hole like this big, and we know that it'd be like statistically it'd be like a 1 in like million chance to get it in that hole. But let's still like go through all this trouble to like go and risk our lives, get these plans and send these plans off, and then even like I don't even know why the rebels even sent the spaceships up there to go or the ships up there to go drop those tornadoes in it or tornadoes. Torpedoes in it. It's like that shot was
tornado in a bottle.
You're dead. Like that if that shot's just not gonna work.
It was
the
only reason it worked.
Why would they make that?
The exhaust port? Why did the guy who designed the Death Star, like as we find out in Rogue One, why didn't he like make that flaw a bigger like an easier flaw to get to?
I don't know why I even asked that because
he could have done that.
In Rogue One, they explain it.
Yeah.
He purposely puts that.
That's what
there.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
so he purposely made the flaw. Right. Why wouldn't he like make it an easier
make it
flaw
like
to
2
exploit?
meters big?
Yeah, like
so then it's
why not make it 12 meters big?
Well, because then they'll
turn the Death Star into a hot rod.
But then they'll notice, and then they'll realize, oh, this is sabotage.
Yeah, I just realized
I don't think so because they could have just I don't know. He could have
blocked it.
Not blocked it, but just
like made it 3 meters
he's
big.
the lead engineer, like or something like. He was the lead architect.
They didn't know, and that was the one thing. Also, another thing you have to think of is like, who's on this Death Star? You probably have, for one, well, Darth Vader isn't on it, but you have stormtroopers, generals, officers, Tarkin, all these important people. The only 2 people you don't have it on is the Emperor and
Vader,
but like a majority of the Imperial brass is on that Star.
Vader's flying after him.
Yeah, another thing you have to think of is where do they bring their the rebel prisoners. They bring them on the Death Star. So not only did you kill
unnecessary sacrifice,
hundreds of thousands of bad people, you probably killed hundreds of thousands of your own people.
At least
At least 1,000.
They got laid
At
out.
least
It's
of
all
them,
right.
because math. There's at least one.
In that scene,
rebel
I
prisoner
feel like in
on
that
there.
scene where they go and rescue Leia, they definitely could have just like pressed all the buttons, just let everybody out of their cells to like just run free and like cause havoc or something. But now they're just like,
but not
like keys
not
on a
everybody
piano
in the
just
cells are good people. You gotta remember that too.
yeah, it's a good
There are
point.
people that hate the Empire but also hate rebels.
They're also
rebels,
just
yeah.
bad people.
So
That's true. That's a good point.
you can't just press.
But
a
I guess
button
the enemy of
everyone.
my enemy is an ally, so
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you don't want.
I don't know. If I was in there and I'm like
you off.
getting run over by or like overrun by stormtroopers, I'd be like, everybody go free. Have fun.
Prison break. Everyone breaking out of the gulag.
What I
Yeah.
find even funnier is the fact that they were like, I guess canonically you have, which for some reason I always got clone troopers and stormtroopers mixed up as a kid, and I was like, what's the difference between them, because I didn't watch the
troopers were
prequels
cool,
yet,
Mhm.
and then I eventually was like, oh, there's clones and then you have stormtroopers, but it's funny because they like get rid of the clones because they're like, oh yeah, after a certain amount of time, like they start degrading and then they like die of like early ages, or like some of them have like defects because it's not like fully proven out. So we're just gonna get rid of them and start like selecting people by hand to become stormtroopers.
Well, you know why? Like it shows in the Bad Batch why they got rid of clones,
Why did they get rid of clones again?
because Tarkin came, and Tarkin's just kind of an asshole,
Yeah.
right? So
Was Tarkin's that skinny like officer dude?
Yeah, with the white hair
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
on the
With the weird
Death Star.
bony
Yeah.
cheekbones.
Yep, that's him.
he's in the Clone Wars, and then he's also in the Bad Batch because he was an officer for
The Republic.
the Republic before the Empire rose.
Mhm.
And even in the Clone Wars, he was like an asshole. But the funny thing was, he always liked Anakin because Anakin showed dark side tendencies. So that's why he only liked Anakin and nobody else.
Also,
But
he's a
that-
pedo.
for another time. But
I'm just kidding.
For another time?
for another time, I want to do the Clone Wars. Clone Wars. Is
Oh,
cool.
we definitely
Yeah,
will
bro.
at some point.
But,
Did you know in this movie, just another like random fact, Harrison Ford wasn't even brought on to be like Han Solo in the first place.
Yeah,
he
like,
was brought
he
on
was
just
an
to help with help deliver lines. It says,
He was.
and then Lucas liked his like acting, his whole acting.
No,
so.
He was just like, you're better than the
I
guy
thought
we got.
I thought he was like a mechanic or something, and he was working on the set, and then he like.
No, Harrison Ford was an actor at this point, obviously. But,
Oh.
and he like it says Harrison Ford played Bob Falfa, cocky street racer in American Graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
They brought him in because they just wanted help with help deliver lines and stuff, but they ultimately
George Lucas,
George Lucas liked him.
he knows what he wants, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
By the way, I'm getting all these facts from like a website, so I'm not making this. I'm not just
it's probably fake.
this is my idea or whatever.
It said that he was working as a carpenter before
On the
they got
set?
before he got casted as like Han Solo.
Wait, he's like his real profession was a carpenter,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Yeah, like
that's
legit.
crazy.
So
Okay.
basically, he's Jesus.
Blade, yeah, and in 1982, that was when Blade Runner was released. So then he was in like another, I guess, future style of movie. That's a weird movie. I want to talk
Harrison
about that
Ford
one
was killing
eventually.
it in the 80s.
He was. That
He
was his
tried to
prime
be a
time.
voiceover like job, like actor.
Like, this Friday,
Yeah.
Yeah,
get ready for the summer's
I mean, he has a
greatest
good
movie.
voice.
he does have a good
He
voice.
does.
Watching, yeah, but the thing is, like, sometimes his acting can be so weird. Like him in that one dog movie, I can imagine how funny
What
must
dog
that be
movie?
to watch. It's like him and the CGI dog. It's based off of a book.
Oh yes.
That
but
movie
watching him-
wasn't very good.
Watching him and somebody
Or
in a
was it? Are
green
you
screen
talking
costume.
about-
I don't remember. It's like a dog's journey or something. No,
Yeah,
that's
something
different.
like
Something.
that.
It's
Came
something
out
like
like
that.
a year or two ago. Or
Yeah,
something.
but
I
it's
don't
like
recall.
him and a
Dog with
CGI
the blog?
dog or no.
It's like some random movie. You know how they got Darth Vader's like breathing noise?
How?
It says they stuck a microphone inside of a scuba tank regulator.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I Hold on, I'm gonna look at.
Like the blaster noise. It's like you use rebarb and hit it on another piece of rebarb.
The what?
For the blaster noise.
Oh,
really?
no, it was a cable. So like those really big cables that you see on
Yeah,
like.
they're made of rebarb.
No, they're made out of. It's not rebar. Rebar is one thing.
Metal.
It's metal.
You know how when you get
isn't it rebar? It's a piece of rebarb that's being
hit on a cable.
Or if you get like springs and you stretch them out.
the
right?
Slinky. Remember the
Yeah,
Slinky? Where we
Slinky.
put it up to our ear and you'd shake it right here and it was like. It was like the cool like sci-fi blaster noises. It's like stuff like that.
I put a
Or you,
shell
you
up
like
to my
stretch it
ear
out,
once
right?
and a
So
crab
it's
bit me.
taut,
Mhm.
and then you take a metal bar and just whack it.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
Nothing. Nobody will understand.
Oh.
That's beautiful, Katie.
I said I put a
Sorry, Zach, let it out.
seashell up to my ear and a crab bit me.
That's
Or,
most beautiful case.
Dang, they paid Mark Hamill $650,000 plus 0.25%. So, yeah, wow, 0.025% of the movie's total profit.
Ugh.
That's a lot of money though for back in 1977
That's like
with a movie with only an $11 million budget.
It's like at least $2.
Bruh.
Wow,
Am I lying?
Again, why are you here?
bro, R2D2's
I'm the
paid.
reason you're all.
R2D2, the guy Kenny Baker played R2D2. He got paid $7,810 with no royalties.
What?
Yikes.
The R2 guy?
Chewbacca was paid $450 per week with a total of 12 weeks, so only $5,400.
Bro, that's a ripoff.
To be fair, he's just like a really tall guy.
I mean, I guess that was that a lot of money back then in the 77?
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, $650,000 for like a movie that they didn't think was gonna do that well is a lot of money. Plus, that's almost that's like I don't know 5 or 6% of the entire like movie that's like 5 or 6% of the entire movie's budget. Like, that's crazy.
I mean,
Oh,
he had a lot of lines. Though.
I totally forgot that he was there was a movie that he was in it was like Clear and Present Danger, which is a Tom Clancy book. And he played as Jack Ryan, which is
Really?
kind of cool. It's kind of cool to think of because now they have John Krasinski who's playing as Jack Ryan, which he makes a lot better of a Jack Ryan than frickin' Chris. What's his name from Star Trek? Chris.
The guy who plays Captain Kirk?
Fine.
Yeah, Chris Pine. They had Chris Pine play as Jack Ryan, and his acting is really strange in those Jack Ryan. He's good in
But Krasinski's
What?
a damn good actor.
What other
Yeah.
movies is he
Dang.
in This Means War?
who?
The guy who plays Captain
Chris
Kirk.
Pine? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Harrison
Yes.
Ford.
With Tom Hardy.
With Tom Hardy. Yeah, that's a weird
That movie's kind of funny.
Harrison
what were you
Ford
gonna
was paid $10,000 in total for this movie.
Yeah, he wasn't paid a lot.
Yeah, apparently he was an actor at this point, but he was a very like he was like struggling or whatever.
He's
at
very
the point.
underdeveloped. 2 years
yeah,
later, he was in Apocalypse Now. And
I'm
then
not sure in the next movie
19
he made like exponentially.
Yeah, 1981 he was in the first Indiana Jones movie. 1982 he was in Blade Runner. 1983 he was in both the second Indiana Jones movie and the second Star Wars movie. And then in 1989 he was in the
Well, he made
third Star Wars
$100,000.
movie. He's made a lot of money. He's been in a lot of stuff, but he's mainly the same person in most of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Except
typecasted a lot.
except in Blade Runner, he gets a little rapey in that movie, and it's really awkward watching.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like I understand it's a robot that he tries and rapes, but it's like.
That's all. That can also be
Wow,
faulted
after
like,
not
to the script writer.
Seeing that movie, that's incredibly confusing.
The script's just like dialogue. Okay, now rape this robot.
Now you're gonna
real
rape
quick.
this robot.
And
really
then some
quick.
more dialogue, then scene.
It's supposed to be one of those like, oh, she's playing hard to get, so
Yeah, he got a pretty
and
he
it's
got a
like,
pretty big pay raise on Return of the Jedi.
How much did he get paid?
Obviously.
$500,000.
Wow.
I mean, he still got a really big pay raise on Empire Strikes Back
You
with
have to remember that's
$100,000.
still a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
Back then.
$500K would get you a lot.
I mean,
now
he got-
it doesn't get you as much.
He got paid $20 million for Force Awakens, so
Oh my god.
yeah.
$20 million?
Yeah.
What do you do with $20 million?
I mean, have you seen how much the actors got paid? Like, this is
Pay
completely
bills.
off topic, but the actors in like Avengers, like,
Yeah,
and
they
the-
got paid
Oh,
like
yeah, like
and like the in Avengers, like,
$70,000.
yeah, Avengers Endgame,
$70
like,
million.
what's his name? Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. They got paid like, I don't know, like over like $70 million.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you can act like once, get paid $70 million, go invest in a bunch of stuff, like just go pay for a bunch of properties that get you paid, and then just stop acting.
I would keep acting. That sounds fun. But anyways,
No, I feel like if the thing is like you could act in one movie, get paid $70 million, stop acting, and then you don't have to worry about like anybody tracking what you do and being like.
We can meet famous actors
Please.
and get in, like better movies because you get better roles.
I guess.
Let's ask
That'd be
the
my
big
goal.
Yeah,
actors how they do it. Let's have them on the podcast.
It's mainly like to build your name more than money.
you keep in mind the first
But-
Iron Man movie. You know, he had to build his way up. Like in the first
Oh,
Iron
yeah,
Man movie,
Robert
got paid
Downey
like
came from nothing.
Yeah, it's
I
scrap.
mean,
Literally.
Like, do you know how he turned his life around? He said he had a Burger King burger that was so bad he made him go to the beach and throw all the drugs out into the ocean.
Jesus.
It made the burger was so bad it made him rethink his whole life.
Yeah, he literally is like cheeseburgers are the reason that I.
Yeah,
Anyways, back on
Is that
this
why it's in the
movie.
I don't know,
Movies?
it's just
Yeah,
fun.
and-
Where he's like, I want a
in
double
Iron Man-
cheeseburger.
In Iron Man 1, he's like, I want a cheeseburger, and that's
That's
like
why,
it's
like-
actually him eating, like going and getting a cheeseburger just because of like I guess cheeseburgers was what kind of kept him.
Because
Yeah. And then
After he
in
ate that
Endgame too,
cheeseburger, he was
like
like-
his daughter wanted a cheeseburger.
oh, that's true.
Yeah.
oh
I
my
got it.
gosh.
Just burger.
What?
You okay?
I need a drink. Water.
So-
anyways,
Thank you for that
please
clarification.
subscribe so we can make
Oh
$70
yeah,
million
we're at the end of our line right now.
So you're saying
I think
you're saying
Are we?
that in real life,
Oh yeah, we are. We're getting close.
Robert Downey Jr. was like, I ate this cheeseburger and it turned my whole life around.
Yes.
And in the movie, he was like, all right, I'm going to eat a cheeseburger. And right after I eat this cheeseburger, we're going to completely change the direction that Stark Industries is going. And then in Endgame, his daughter's just like,
All right,
bro, I want a cheeseburger.
Cool. So
Bro, that's sick.
I
Take
think
a drink of water.
I've been wanting to do this for like so freaking for like so long. I want to make like you know you've seen all those like Star Wars like fan films and stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of
stop.
fan film,
Dude, I want to do that so bad,
I'll make
bro.
our own fan film. I'll bring my lightsaber.
You know,
Dude.
actually,
It'd be
you know,
so fun.
what I'd be down to do. I know
we-
this is a new idea. I know we usually do stuff that's like in here. If Disney lets us bring in a camera, I'm down to go to Galaxy's Edge and film it.
People have done that, I think.
I'm down to go and build a lightsaber for
Are you allowed to film
MediaMix.
it? I don't know if you're
I'll
allowed
go
to film
spend
it.
$200 to
I
go
will, too.
film at.
I tell you
Disney.
what.
if you're gonna do it either way,
I'm gonna. Well, either way, I'm getting a lightsaber, whether or not we film and I get paid $1 million from the video or not.
you're not
Schneider.
gonna get paid $1 million.
If you get a
But the-
lightsaber, can we recreate the scene where Anakin kills the little children and you
Yes.
just beat us all with your
Yeah, I'm gonna
lightsaber?
go. What I'm gonna do is I'm
Who the
gonna.
hell says that?
What I'm gonna do is
what
I'm gonna.
that?
Him.
I'm gonna get
What is-
a. I'm gonna get a katana and then I'm just gonna like. I'm gonna paint over with like a Sharpie just green, and then I'm gonna go into a preschool, and then I'm gonna go with Nick. I'm gonna say, "Hey, watch this," and then
Oh
it's
my
gonna be
God.
like, "Master Anakin." I'm gonna be like,
I was talking
"Yeah!"
about-
See, at
the
first I
friend
thought you were
group.
like the direction you're going with this is like you know
Anakin
we're gonna make
has
our
a
own
blue
movie or whatever or
lightsaber.
our own little film. We'll just get like a sword.
Listen,
and
if
paint
we're
it.
gonna do a fanfic,
green.
we gotta recreate all the movie, right?
No,
we
you don't
gotta
do that. You
that
just-
scene
That's
as
not
well.
a fanfic. That's just
You just
recreating.
yeah,
a movie.
you make your own like I don't know. You make,
Make
your
your
own like
own
little
script.
story, and it's basically just a lot of dueling.
It's a lot of previs, which is what they do for like. don't
I
know
think we
what
should do it.
previs is.
Have you ever seen the one where it's like Kylo Ren meets Darth Vader? But it's like he's just imagining it at the end of it.
I've seen a lot. But I
That
haven't
one's
seen
Him
that. One.
having a wet dream.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, why wasn't this in the movie?
There's
I
so
used
many
to
so
watch-
there's so many good ones though. Like I believe
a
we can make a
lot.
really good one.
But if you haven't been at Galaxy's Edge and you love Star Wars, go do it. Like honestly,
I still haven't
the
gone
place
Did you
is
guys-
amazing.
Did you guys ever
Awesome.
watch?
Even the food is Star Wars themed.
What?
Yeah, the food, like if you go into like any of the food places there or any of the food stands, it's all
they
Star
good?
Wars themed. The drinks are Star Wars themed. I got a Coke and it's like written in Star Wars.
Oh
language.
yeah, it's like a little ball.
It's a little ball and they're cool as hell.
Colin got one and he hasn't opened it.
I opened mine because I was thirsty.
You guys
but
ever watch,
I still have it.
Like the homemade like
Uh,
Star Wars like short films that little children made.
No.
They were like, so when I was a little child, right, I would watch really dumb videos on YouTube. Some of which were just
does
like
this have
these
to do with
12-year-old and 9-year-old kids just like beating each other up with like the little like.
I used to do
Extendo
that in real
lightsaber.
life.
Yeah, I used to do that in real life, right?
They were
No,
pretending to be like
I was a Nerf gun
they were
kid.
pretending to be like the
I mean, I was
characters like
both,
Qui-Gon
but-
Jinn and like Mace Windu and all the other guys.
I would sit there and pretend I was just a Jedi, and me and my friend would be there. And,
They're all like
everyone always like reach for the remote, like.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if enough people watched our stuff, and if you, the viewer right now, are watching this right now, and you want to see us do cool like new content, I'd be willing to split the cost of a Lego Millennium Falcon, a full-size Lego.
I thought you were about to say
Millennium
make a
Falcon.
cool Star Wars film.
Well, I'll do that.
Then we all build the
eventually.
Millennium
all the
Falcon.
No,
above.
and I'll
Make
do a
film,
do a
buy
live.
lightsaber.
We could do a
make
live
it Millennium
stream
Falcon.
where we spend, was it $800? So all of us would have to pitch in
$800 for the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, so we do a live stream where we have to build the Millennium Falcon.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool for like big, and we're just doing like a charity live
Can
stream
we
or
get,
something
like,
like
a
that.
I do a charity live stream
That'd
for
be
that.
Can
awesome.
we get like a
You know?
down payment on that shit or no?
What do you,
No.
it's $800. How broke are you?
He
Pretty
doesn't-
broke.
It's not worth it right now.
I'm saying I'm saying like in the future, like, you know, we have a
I'd
lot
be
of
down to do
followers.
that.
We have enough money to, or enough followers to like do a charity live stream, and us just sitting here like just talking and building the Millennium
we
Falcon.
mean-
Oh no,
well.
bro.
We
In
mean
the future
well,
we'll be
right?
broke.
What do you what?
We mean well. We want to do a charity live stream.
I want to do a charity. I don't care. It's just in
Yeah.
fact of doing a live stream. I just would love to be able to build the Lego Millennium Falcon
Yeah, it'd be cool.
with you guys on a
That'd be
live
really
stream.
cool.
That would be fun.
But I
Yeah,
think
that'd
we
be
should.
Get a girl.
I think we should jump into the ratings real
Ratings,
quick. I think we should make the ratings pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Not
Yeah.
just
We're getting
talk for a
close.
million minutes. So start with Zach. Just
Always.
give a quick rating about like the action, story, and action.
Story and
Acting,
action.
story, and action, not action, story.
Oh God, this is
Just
harder
give a
for
quick-
like older movies.
Just a,
Okay,
Well,
so
just
think
give
about
a-
it for in its day.
right.
Obviously, you can't like compare it to like now. Just for in its day, what would you say like the acting is? Just give a rating.
The acting.
Yeah, for in its day.
I give it like a 7.
7. All right.
Really?
Because like.
no. I'm just saying.
I
really,
mean, like, what do you?
I've
give
seen.
it?
I've seen.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Just come on. Let's not talk for a million years about
Well, I
this.
mean, it's just like it wasn't like amazing
no.
because they were just kind of starting out. They were all kind of new, and
Yeah.
you know, they didn't have the experience that like they do now, or maybe 2 movies later.
Yeah.
So I mean, I give it like a 7. I like some scenes in it. Like I mean, like the scene when Han Solo kind of shows up and saves Luke's ass. He does the little Yahoo.
Yeah, it's
thing.
funny.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like,
The,
What did you say about
the
Harrison Ford
garbage
did
chute
that,
scene
but-
was pretty good.
What did you say about the story?
I mean, what? Oh god, it's hard. I honestly like.
Of this movie?
It's a really well written story.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll give it a 9 out of 10
All right.
because
and then,
I want to save the 10 out of 10 for later.
You also have to remember.
and then action. We're just trying to get through this.
Go ahead.
Action,
just get through.
Action, I give it 9
9. All right.
because it's Star Wars. I mean,
All right,
it's
Nick.
fun
I'll say all around it's a 9 out of 10. I mean, I don't really have I have to
Acting.
go just all around.
Everything
It is a
9, okay.
Everything's 9 out of 10. Because I was gonna say really quick about the story. It's really good. It's based off the Odyssey, like the one that we had to read in high school.
Odysseus.
Yeah, and all that. Like it's based off of that. So he had to adapt in a certain way, take like things from that, and then it's like based off of it. But it's still really impressive how he does it. So.
Odyssey.
And if you compare it to any of the other movies like made at its time, like sure there's really good other acting, but the acting is still pretty believable, and especially for a science fiction movie about lightsabers and laser stuff. Shit, I don't know. Still impressive.
Okay. Nick?
Okay, acting I'll give an 8 out of 10. Like, I understand it's like the 70s, but there were some scenes that were just kind of like cardboard boxes acting. But
You said 8?
8 out of 10.
Okay.
Story?
Yeah.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
9 and 10?
Yeah.
Okay. What about
And
action?
then action, I'm gonna do action, like action film. The action and film aspect, 10 out of 10. It's like, I feel like Star Wars film quality was probably like revolutionary for its time, in my opinion. Like,
Definitely. Yeah.
it kind of like reshaped how like the industry moved forward. So
I mean,
I'll give it a
was,
10 out of 10.
Okay. All right, and then me. I give the acting for Back in Its Day a 9. For Back in Its Day, it was good. Obviously, there's some moments that were just like, kind of like, okay, you could have done way better on that. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the story, 10 out of 10. Obviously, it's freaking Star Wars. It's a great ass story.
Right.
Action, it's an 8 out of 10. Obviously, there was only like a couple of lightsaber duels, and I'm like fiend for lightsaber duels.
fiend.
I'm a
No,
lightsaber
There's only
fiend.
one lightsaber.
I
duel.
really like watching blaster scenes.
I do too.
Like
but
when they have larger scale blaster scenes, especially in like for instance Rogue One when they're on the beach and they're fighting.
Yeah.
So good. You don't see enough of like on the ground Star Wars. It's so much like either in space and watching them like fly past each other.
All right, so the total score was 8.8 out of 10.
Do we want to round that up to a 9?
Yes.
I guess we can.
Yeah.
I mean,
stop.
Sorry, yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, 8.8 out of 10.
You want to give it an 8? Why
There's
not
a number.
give it a 9?
Just give it.
Because that's what it is.
Give it a 9.
Whatever, 9. Jeez. Why are you so anal about
Because
9?
it's Alex.
Rounding up.
Everyone say hi to Alex.
No. We're specific here. We're doing 8.8 out of 10. That's what's going up on the screen.
Fine, 8.8 out of 10.
Alright.
Locked it. It's
I edit
locked
the
in.
movies now. Or I edit the.
I'm the editor, boy.
In the
I'm
books.
the lead
In the
editor.
books, on the record, 8.8 out of 10.
8.8 out of 10. See it up
Alright.
on the screen.
I'm the
See it
movie boy
everywhere.
now.
We are the movie boys now.
You want? I got
All right,
this.
everyone. Oh,
I'm the
you want to do
gamer
this?
boy.
No, you did
Thanks
the
for
intro.
watching.
No, you did the intro.
Like and
No,
subscribe.
stop.
Why-
Trying to reach
Stop.
100
Let
subscribers
one of these two do it. Let one of these two
by
do
the
it.
end of the year.
Let the big kahuna do it. We want the big kahuna to do it.
Don't put me on your sheet.
But Zach, don't take it from me. Let
It's not
Zach
even
tell you.
on you.
Zach, go ahead. Take it away, buddy.
You know what? I will do it.
Take it away.
Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll be doing more Star Wars content in the future, obviously. We'll be doing probably the movies in order from 4, 5, 6.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6.
That's
One,
probably
two,
do
three.
the
coming
TV
out.
shows like
Also
I
the
don't know, 'cause
anime
we can't really
stuff.
do the Mandalorian because it's still on right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll continuously do them.
Yeah.
Might
Star
do
Wars
the-
Yeah, this is
Might do the Visions, the anime one
yeah.
next. But
Well, I mean, don't say that because this video might be out way later than we do that.
Yeah, we have
This time of recording, man.
Okay.
We're not sure.
It's like
We're not
go
sure
watch
when.
other videos on our channel.
Yeah, we're not sure when this video is gonna be posted, but just
Yeah.
know that we're gonna do like we're gonna have a whole playlist
Yeah,
of all
we're gonna
the
have
Whenever
Star
this
Wars
video is
movies and
posted,
stuff.
just for reference, it was like September, like the end of September.
September 25th is when we're
Yeah.
filming this.
Mm.
Might be
Yeah.
posted in December. Might be posted
Next year.
Next year might
Who
be posted.
knows?
Hey, what if this is posted like, I don't know, like
May
3 years
4th.
later? You know,
You
when
look
we're
like-
like blown
I
up.
hope I'm skinnier.
We should do that. We should do like a
Man, I hope
message
so,
to
too.
ourselves, like late, in the future.
Hey,
3
me
years
from
from now, the new Star Wars movie will probably be out.
Probably.
Or
me
coming
from
out.
3 days / 3 months / 3 years from now, lose some weight, prick. All right.
I hope.
Wow.
All right, listen up.
I hope we
Yourself
actually
more.
hire an editor.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
hopefully we pay Nick to actually maybe do work.
Yeah, not Jack.
I'm
'cause
sorry, if
all
you-
Jack. It's all Jack now.
If I don't have to work my other job, the one that is actually professional where I do stuff instead of talking to my friends and then continuously taking a
This will be a
dump,
professional job.
This
Yeah,
will
but
be
the-
my professional job, and I could put full force into it, and then I can learn After Effects, and then occasionally I'll have Zach sitting here and have a lightsaber effect pop up from underneath the table.
You know,
Why?
I really wanted this whole time
Why
to be
from
like,
under
yeah,
the
lightsaber
table?
effect, but I don't know if I actually really want to edit that in, so no promises.
No, I'm not doing that.
It's not even you,
Neither-
it's me.
Neither is Jack. If
Alright.
if we had more time, then yes.
I think the
Wow.
audience is getting tired of us. All right, guys.
Thanks
so
for
thanks for
watching.
watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Hey, like and subscribe.
Yeah,
like,
like, make sure
subscribe,
you better
bell
subscribe.
icon.
You would
so
probably would
you
have
never
seen the
miss an
cool
episode.
animation that I made. By the
What
way,
cool animation. Oh,
subscribe
the
animation.
Subscribe animation. You worked on it for like 4 hours, guys.
did.
So make sure you click the subscribe button.
follow the
So be very-
instructions.